Hey guys, and welcome back to Castle Crush. And today, since I posted last, there was an update here where they actually buffed and debuffed. They made some rebalancing changes to the game here, and I think the most notable ones are probably the Dark Angel's health getting increased by 30%, and the Vampire's health getting decreased by 17%, maybe, kind of an issue. Dryad getting decreased by 20%. I'm not sure exactly what that is going to mean. We'll have to try it out with some different cards, because the Skeleton Swarm could already sort of take it out, so I'm not sure which cards this is going to sort of affect the Dryad's ability to deal with yet. So the Spiked Statue is going to die a little bit faster. Some other cards got their values, their mana cost increased, including the Black Witch. So Black Witch gets nerfed slightly, and Vampire got nerfed, and also, I mean, the Dwarf and the Golem, they get buffed in form of being a little bit faster, and I'm starting to play with the Dwarf a little bit more. Should be interesting to use that card. It's pretty much never really been like a super intriguing card, so maybe this will add some more interest to it. So let's start off here by opening up these chests that I have, and as you can see there, I do in fact have a magical chest. That is right, I got this from just as a normal reward playing matches, and here it is. Hopefully we get an epic at least. Yeah, we do. I think they normally have epics, but so 8 Pirate, Siege Ballista, and Angel times 3 plus 580 gold. It's not a bad magical chest right there. And our piggy bank's filled. I filled this piggy bank a bunch. I'm never gonna have 20,000 gems to open it with, especially since you only get 15,000 back. And so to start this one out here with, I came up with a little rushing deck that uses the Dark Angel as well as the Dwarf, so we get to see two cards that were changed here, and see how these kind of work. And I can already tell you, I think the Dark Angel is more effective. I don't know if it suddenly becomes super useful, but the Dwarf seems pretty solid to me actually in a rushing deck. Like, I was kind of surprised how well the Dwarf kind of works at, I don't know, well, you'll see what I mean here. So between the Dwarf and the Jester, they handle skeletons and stuff like pretty good actually. Like, I can just play these out here and, you know, you'll see what I mean. I can kind of just start to play things and see what my opponent does. So they play a Jester in there. And I'm going to take a look here. So they're going to play... Dwarf's doing okay. It's not really helping a whole lot here. So I think we are going to try and rush with whatever we can. And I'm going to try and go ahead and get the Dark Angel out. And see what we can do. So we have the Dark Angel with the Angel here. They tried to play the Black Witch, couldn't do it. I'm going to swap lanes over here and then play my protection. They tried to play a demon, but I totally jumped them right there. So again, we're keeping an eye on the Dwarf and the Dark Angel in particular, and just how they sort of perform versus how they maybe perhaps performed before. And I'm going to wait here and see if we can... We do draw the Standard Bearer. And I don't like to give up my strategy like that, but I don't think that that was the worst move either. I'm going to play away from that Spiked Statue, and those guys were luckily able to just, like, run through it. And I'm going to go ahead and play this right here. And what we're going to do over here, let's try to get the Dark Angel going in the bottom lane. And then get another Angel down here. Again, try to put a lot of pressure on them. And see how the Dark Angel has more health than before, so it's not really losing health as quickly when it's fighting things. I'm just going to go ahead and do this because... And then what we'll do here is swap lanes. Take him out. Go there. That was well played by them. Pretty well played by them. And, oh, wow. Okay. Nice stuff, for sure. this deck I'm actually gaining some trophies with. It's funny. It's pretty funny because I did not think this was going to be good at all. I had not found a Dark Angel deck yet that was really any good. But this one here, using the 2 buffed cards with the Dwarf and the Dark Angel in this rushing deck, actually seems okay. The Dark Angel is, the Dark Angel is actually, it works out pretty well against decks with like Boneyards and such. Again, we're going to swap like I did before, try and save the Dwarf. Not entirely sure what my plan here is. I'm probably going to go away from the Spiked Statue. It's okay if they decide to do that. We'll just play this like this, and I'll put down the protection. Try to make them have to waste some cards. We'll let the Vampire sort of die out, I guess. Pop that guy. So then we can play the Jester over here. And we're just going to keep an eye out. Mostly because that Spiked Statue is almost down. And, nah, I mean, that guy's going to be done by that point. Let's see what we can do. If I can get the Dark Angel close range against that Pirate, which I was able to do. And then we play this Angel down here. And then we're just going to watch and see what happens. I'm okay for right now. I can swap lanes if I need to. I'm going to try to make a couple of dual threat situations there. Okay. And now we put down the Rage. Are they going to be able to stop it? And there's the win that we were looking for. Fantastic work. And we managed to pull that one off. So, like, 3 straight wins practically here. Very interesting. The Dark Angel definitely seems like it goes down far less quickly and has a lot more time. It has a wider range of troops that it can actually beef itself up against, especially after it gets the first ones. Once it gains a little bit of health, then it has a lot more wiggle room to fight against different types of troops. So with this deck, I mean, really, it's nice because I feel like I have a good array of different cards that can sort of be played at the start of the match. The Jesters and the Dwarves can both be played at the start. The Dark Angel obviously has to wait, but with 2 Angels in here as well, the Hollow Knight, there's a good number of cards that can be played in different situations. And that's something I really like here, is that I don't feel like I don't have enough cards at the start, for example, or anything of that nature. We're going to see if they play Inferno or what. Looks pretty solid here. I'm going to play another Dwarf. And what we'll do here is actually play our second Angel. And then I'm not going to switch lanes just yet here. I want to make them, if they play an Inferno, I want them to focus, only get one of the Angels. That's kind of my key thing. Try to keep one of the Angels alive. So we'll play this Angel over here because the Hollow Knight and the Dark Angel could both be viewed as threats. So I want them in different lanes. And then we'll play this protection here, play this Dwarf down here. And now I think we'll swap lanes because we have something that the Dark Angel could boost off of. And that was good enough. That was good enough comboed with the Rage to take out their castle. And again, like, gaining trophies. I'm surprised. This is a surprising deck to be gaining trophies with, especially since, like, I don't think this deck would have performed this well before the rebalance that just happened. It's really interesting how much that seems to have affected it. And you're noticing the Dwarf, I think, right, so the Dwarf speed got increased, and that definitely helps with a rushing deck because you like to have speedy troops. So that's very helpful, especially combined with the Jester, because they can both do some work against the type of troops that often get played against this. So we're going to do this. I'm going to put down this protection, and they're only working through that very slowly. So we've got some options here depending on what they choose to do. Ooh, okay, so swap lanes. They're going to go ahead and push it back. I'm going to play... I'm actually not sure what exactly I'm going to play. I think we're going to try to go for this, comboed with this. And then try to go for an Angel right here. And that's not a bad move, because that's definitely going to do that. We'll play the Jester up there to make sure they can't get positioning back on the board. No! Oh, all right. So, quick with the Rage. All right, so swap lanes. Can we take out the Black Witch? We could, and it might bring those guys back. And it does. It brings back the Dark Angel. They're so done. They're so done. So what I really like the Dwarf for is just helping to maintain positioning, because between the Dwarf and the Jester doesn't have as much health as the Dwarf, but the Jester, because of its knockback effect, it's like it has more health in the fact that it can delay an opponent for longer. And I like that because you want to have positioning with a rushing deck. I feel like if you can maintain positioning, you're in good shape. If you lose positioning and, you know, because then that can cause a pretty big problem. So we get that down there. They don't manage to take out the Angel, though. We want to maintain positioning. So again, I'm going to play my Jester here. And this really isn't that bad of a situation here, because I'm going to get the Dark Knight, and then what we're going to do... Well, maybe I should have left that where it was. I'm not so sure. It's okay, because we'll play the Dark Angel here against these guys, and with its increased health, see how well it does against 4 skeletons. That's very interesting. That is, like, very, very interesting. Okay. The Angel's actually healing that. Okay. I'm going to play the Hollow Knight here and try to catch that other Angel. So again, they have to make a decision between the two Angels, but unfortunately, that takes it out. Okay, right here, I think we can nail them. Yes, 1, 2. Yes, that's all I needed was 2 hits. They were trying to delay me, but we really got it. We really nailed it down right there with that extra standard bearer that I got there at the end, and we are still 1 win away from a victory chest. So my initial thoughts are, I think the Dwarf works much better for rushing decks now, and I think that the Dark Angel holds up much, much better if you play it against more than just a couple of skeletons. So I guess its health, was its base health increased by 30%? I should have checked that. If it was, and I think it was, then it should probably also work better even if you play it against something, say... Should probably work better against even something like... against, like, more... man, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. But it should work better against a number of other things. So here's what we've got, and that Jester's helping me out with the skeletons big time. I'm going to play this Dark Angel against these skeletons, and I think you're going to see what I mean. Maybe they'll still take it out. They may actually, well, they kind of are, but... see, they're not quite able to take it out, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. That was pretty impressive, the way that Dark Angel hung on there. Partly because of the Angel, but also partly because its health was increased. So now you can play the Dark Angel against something like a Skeleton Swarm without it getting taken out. I think in the past it would get taken out to a Skeleton Swarm. I was also going to say, like, it would get taken out, or like 2 archers would deal a significant amount of damage to a Dark Angel if you did not play it, like, directly in front of them. And now, because of the update, I believe... Let's see, let's check again here. Now, I believe because its health was increased by 30%, that gives it a lot more time to be able to close the gap on troops. And it doesn't have to necessarily be placed, you know, it's not like if you don't place it directly in front of, like, 3 skeletons or 2 archers, you know, you still have a chance to make it work. So it was made a little bit more viable in this update. A wider range of things it can actually fight against in its early stages. So, definitely makes it more interesting. So, leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your thought in the comments about this video and what other types of content I should create. Be sure to let me know what you thought about these changes, and especially to like the Dwarf and the Dark Angel, since I played with both of them. And especially the Dark Angel, since, you know, it was one of the legendaries that I didn't think was that good, and now maybe it's a lot better. So maybe subscribe if you're new to my channel. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos.